Let's focus now on the consequences of what this all means. Even if the president signs the bill into law tonight, the time it will take for Americans to receive those benefits could mean financial ruin. With me now, Saru Jaramayan. She is the executive director of One Fair Wage, a nonprofit organization representing tipped and sub-minimum wage workers. Saru, good to see you. Even if President Trump signs the COVID-19 relief bill into law today, tomorrow, what are the consequences of how long it will take for unemployed people to actually receive those benefits?
It's pretty horrific. And I really appreciate you focusing on it because there just hasn't been enough focus. You know, even if he signs it tonight, it will take several days, if not weeks, for people to get their payments. And it's just not enough. $300 a week is not enough in terms of unemployment insurance for people to pay rent and electricity. And I'm especially worrying these days about heat. It is getting colder. It is the winter time. What are people going to do to keep their families warm if they can't pay heat bills or put food on the table? It is very, very dire. And if he doesn't sign it, it will take even longer. If he doesn't sign it today, let's say he signs it tomorrow or the next day, if unemployment insurance runs out, there will be a lapse. It will take weeks for state unemployment insurance systems to turn their systems back on to provide this, insurance to people. It is disastrous.
So many of the workers that you work with are restaurant workers. What kind of work environment are they being forced back into during this pandemic?
That's the thing, is that with so little, whether he signs it or not, with so little coming in, $300 a week, if they qualify, most of these workers are being forced back into jobs that they find incredibly dangerous, that they're terrified to go back to. We did a survey, 2,000 workers, a vast majority, about 80% said their employers were not following. Half said they knew somebody in the restaurant, at least one person who had gotten the virus. And worst of all, 80% are saying their tips are way down and harassment and hostility is way up. 40% of workers, especially women, said that sexual harassment had gone up and it had changed. Women reported in the hundreds that male customers were asking them to take off their masks so they could judge their looks and their tips on that basis. This is a life-threatening situation that is a consequence of how little and how late this relief has been.
There's been a lot of talk, Saru, about the vaccine and how that would potentially, in the next few months, jumpstart the economy. Do those implications apply to low-wage workers?
No, everybody needs to understand a lot of the places where low-wage workers work are not going to immediately bounce back. They're not going to turn on with the flip of a switch with a vaccine. Hundreds of thousands of small businesses are closing right now. That's millions of workers who are not unemployed for 3 months or 6 months, but you're talking long-term unemployment, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, even longer. So what we really need right now is, frankly, what we did at the last economic massive depression of this country. We need a new deal. We need long-term unemployment insurance that gets out to everybody. We need wages to go up. We need a full minimum wage so people aren't forced into very dangerous settings where they have to rely on tips to feed their families. We need paid family leave, and we need cancellation of rent, not a moratorium where people are going to come back and face evictions within a month. These kinds of temporary measures are too little, too late. We need massive overhaul now.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.